What if ALOLAN SANDSLASH was in Gen 1 OU? Now, it is Saturday evening. I'm still going strong. I think tomorrow's gonna be a week since I promised you guys I would be doing a whole bunch of my requested Pokemon, and we're still here. We have ALOLAN SANDSLASH, and oh my gosh, I think one of you thought he wouldn't be too good, but you guys couldn't be further from the truth. ALOLAN SANDSLASH is pretty great. In fact, I'll say even better than regular SANDSLASH, which some of you that might not be saying much, considering I think what's SANDSLASH, a PU or ZU Pokemon? But that doesn't matter, because SANDSLASH has a pretty good niche in Gen 1 OU, that being a Sword Stance user. In fact, he is debatably the best Sword Stance user, because he has Stab, Earthquake, and Thunderwave immunity. That sounds pretty good if you ask me. But ALOLAN SANDSLASH here, he has a really good typing as well. I don't think one's definitively better than the other, because while ALOLAN SANDSLASH has a lot more resistances, regular SANDSLASH has a Thunderwave immunity. And technically, ALOLAN SANDSLASH has 2 immunities as well, an immunity to poison and an immunity to freezing. And both of those are good. But I think that having just a flat out full-on immunity to electric moves and Thunder Wave, I think that ends up coming up more often in Gen 1 games, so I would say that's better. But on the other hand, ALOLAN SANDSLASH resists Psychic, resists Normal. Like I said, it is immune to Freeze, and a Quad resists Ice moves. So those 3 are just already huge. But a resistance to Flying will be handy when going over the Zapdos matchup. And I guess Rock Neutrality it's better than nothing. And granted, ALOLAN SANDSLASH does have a weakness to Ground, which sucks, but you're an Ice type. And I know you see that base 25 special attack and think that's pretty bad, but don't worry, because I have the replays. I can assure you that at the very least, Blizzard does more than enough to write on. And even Executor without a boost, it does or at least I would imagine it would do pretty good damage either way. Especially for Pokemon that resist all of Executor's moves. Oh wait, did you hear me say that, a boost for its special attack? Why, yes. You see these stats here? Look at them. They're pretty good, but nothing super busted. Though I will say that 120 defense is very useful for your Earthquake weakness. And while you do have a quad weakness to both fighting and fire, fighting moves are pretty bad, and the only fire moves you have to worry about are Moltres and Taurosid's Fire Blast, which I would say is very, very manageable. But its moves, oh my gosh, its moves. It has Stab Wizard, and even with a base 125 special attack, keep in mind you're using this on, things that it's strong against anyways. So for a low special Rhydon, or even an Executor, a super effective Blizzard is going to hit hard either way. Worst case scenario, it only does decent chip to Executor, but you're going to see later, it's not going to have to worry about not doing damage. It has Earthquake, which will be its main attacking move. It has the super busted base 20 Leech Life. Or not even base 20, isn't it base 10? Yeah, it's not using that. Rest is cool, but I don't see SANDSLASH using it. Rock Slide is pretty good coverage. It has Super Fang, so this alone just gets rid of Raticate's niche. It can 2-hit KO everything in the format, and that includes Gengar. So even for its worst matchups, and the worst case scenario, it could still bring them down to half HP, which as you can imagine is huge. Just like the regular SANDSLASH, it has Sword Stance, so automatically it's probably the best Sword Stance user in the game. And I feel like I say that for literally every single Pokemon that has Sword Stance in Gen 1. At this point, no one jokes around about it, but at least to me, I think it's just a meme that, like, every single Pokemon that has Sword Stance just tricks the ground back into thinking that it's the best thing, or just the best Sword Stance user. Which, I know I'm technically not wrong when I say that, because, like, obviously, every single Pokemon with Sword Stance, like, as you can imagine, I'm probably going to be adding the Pokemon that are pretty good. So, it shouldn't be that surprising to me, but I still find it funny. And if you look down here, yeah, SANDSLASH has Amnesia. So that base 25 special, you do not have to worry about it. It already does good enough chip to like things that are weak to Blizzard, but now you have two different win conditions. You can either go for a Sword Stance sweep using your good defensive typing to get free turns in, so you can kill stuff with Hyper Beam or Earthquake, and yeah, it does get Hyper Beam, no one's surprised. But Amnesia with Stat Blizzard, that's just as good. It's like amazing. Like, just look at these 4 moves right here. Like, these are like the different things you can use with it. You can have a mix attacking set where you have like Sword Stance, Earthquake, Hyper Beam, and then you have like Blizzard for coverage against like Rhydon, or for like just to do decent damage against Executor. If you're scared of Executor, having the Amnesia set not only means your Blizzard 2-hit KOs Eggy, but it also means you don't care about sweep, because you're already boosting your special, and it's going to take a long time for Psychics to actually kill you. Meaning it's Executor's only going to get lucky with crits exactly. And with a base 55 speed, I wouldn't really count on it. Sword Stance as usual is just great, and Super Fang means that not a single thing in the game outside of like Starmie or like Chansey or Alakazam are gonna like, you can basically like always accomplish something with this Pokemon. And if your opponent doesn't know what set you're using, you're like Salamence in Gen 3 or like Gengar or pretty much any Pokemon from Gen 3, where your movesets are just so, you have so much versatility that it makes you pretty dangerous, because your SANDSLASH can do whatever you wanted it to do for your team. If you need a nice defensive, like Ice type, or if you just need something like a might counter Eggy, you have Amnesia for that. You can go for your standard Sword Stance Sweeper, Mix Sweeper with like Super Fang. It could be anything you want. So there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that a Alolan SANDSLASH would be great. It would definitely be OU. And I do think, yeah, regular SANDSLASH probably loses a niche, because yes, it is strong against Alolan SANDSLASH, but you would rather just use Alolan SANDSLASH anyways. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure Alolan SANDSLASH probably wins the 1v1 with Stab Wizard, but I could be wrong. Well, let's just get into the replays, shall we? Now, Tauros, admittedly, is a pretty bad matchup. Earthquake does a lot of damage to you, but like here, as you can see here, like Earthquake without a crit is a 3-hit, so you can do pretty, or no, I'll just say really good damage to Tauros. Putting your Tauros in red is, that's amazing actually. For all intents and purposes, I'm still going to put Tauros as an own Windball matchup though, because Tauros with Fire Blast exists, and yeah, it doesn't go well for SANDSLASH there. Don't burn your Hedgehog, folks, or whatever SANDSLASH is supposed to be. Snorlax, luckily, most sets I would say you do pretty well against, but against like Earthquake sets, it's the same as Tauros, 3-hit KO. But luckily, a SANDSLASH can very easily take care of that, because you're faster. So like Sword Stance sets, that do pretty good. I think Amnesia sets do less good against Snorlax. But also, like, if you have Max special, you probably just 2-shot. You might not even need 2, but I don't know for sure. And Chansey, you just completely wall. They can paralyze you, which is annoying if you care about that. But then what? You don't care about, like, Seismic Toss that much, outside of just getting bad, like, paralysis luck. You definitely don't fear SANDSLASH's Ice Beam. So I don't see why SANDSLASH can't just set up on Chansey and just do massive damage. And just forcing Chansey to switch out. And Chansey obviously would wall, like, Amnesia SANDSLASH, but they also don't know what set you're running when they first take it out. So that just leads to a lot of different mind games, which I think would be very fun. And here you have Amnesia. You can already see right here just how much it can really do for you. Because like, look how much that Psychic does. That only does 12%. Which some of you might think that's still a lot. And I guess for resisted Pokemon with Amnesia up, that is a lot. But like, there's no denying that SANDSLASH definitely has the better favor here. And since it's faster, even if it wakes up, like, you honestly could just very well just go for another Amnesia. And then like Executor has to pray it gets lucky against you. But like I said, like even with 25 special attack, a Blizzard with just 1 boost, or I guess technically 2, is 2-hit KO on you. So maybe you can argue that in this replay the SANDSLASH got greedy, but also in reality the Executor probably doesn't stay in anyways. And because of how good SANDSLASH's typing is, I would say just in general it doesn't care that much about Sweep. He has his weaknesses, but you can definitely like switch out of those. Also, while I didn't make a replay for it, just know that Cloyster is unwinnable, but that probably doesn't shock you. And Jinx is... it's a weird one, because unlike Executor, Jinx can crit a lot more, and I would say Jinx's Psychics are more dangerous because of that. At the same time, you still resist both the Jinx stabs, they can miss with Lovely Kiss, and you can do a lot of damage. Maybe not perhaps getting a crit all the time, but it could still happen. So it could go either way. And then for Rhydon, like here is an unboosted Blizzard. As you can see, it 2-hit KOs Rhydon. So even though Rhydon almost kills you right back, like even without Amnesia, Blizzard already does its job, which really impressed me. I would not think that just a base 25 special attack could do that. Well, here we are. I'm proud of my boy. And then Swabro is a weird one, but I think most of the Swabro ones are either unwinnable or just weird. SANDSLASH can set up, and with Super Fang, like even if you don't have any like boosting moves, I would say that alone like threatens Swabro. For this replay here, SANDSLASH got a little bit unlucky and missed a Super Fang, so it could have won. So I think for this matchup, it just depends on, well, obviously the SANDSLASH set, as well as like which one gets luckier. With Paralysis and Super Fang not being 100% accurate, maybe that ever so slightly makes like Swabro like it kind of helps in his favor, but even then I'm not sure. It depends really on just the matchups, or not the matchups. Like which one gets it up first, I guess you can say. And speaking of unlucky, poor SANDSLASH in this replay. Luckily for both Blizzard and Psychic, like SANDSLASH takes that pretty well, and it does not care about Surf or even Thunderbolt that much. So SANDSLASH can like put up a pretty good fight against Starmie. Not so much when it gets unbearable like Paralysis luck, but that just happens sometimes, it's Gen 1. But a single Sword Stance, you do a lot of damage to Starmie, you 2-hit KO it. So it just depends on like what your Paralysis luck is. Could go either way. And last but not least, we have Zapdos. And this is funny, because you resist, like, Drill Peck, the moment you get a single Amnesia up, yeah, Zapdos can't do much to you. You can just easily 2-shot it. And then they need to crit you if they want to survive, which might not happen. So SANDSLASH, he's just a beast like that. So here is the tier list. Despite having a lot of stuff and could go either way, because a lot of it just depends on the moveset, and a lot of these could change. Like, depending on the moveset, I would put this in good. This is probably always a could go either way. Gengar and Cloyster are weird ones, but I'm pretty sure that, like, Cloyster is just unwinnable, because it's faster than you, high defense, and then Gengar's just weird, but, like, Earthquake does a lot of damage no matter what. But even though, like, or actually, I guess with so many Pokemon it could go either way, I guess that does kind of show that SANDSLASH, despite being really good, is also really fair, I would argue. It has a lot of like different sets you can use, but even with those sets, even when Alolan SANDSLASH sets up, it's not really overpowered, because you can easily find ways to counter it, which I think is great. It's a shame that Alolan SANDSLASH isn't like in the actual game, because it would have a lot of fun niches, and it would be like a very, or maybe even the most versatile Pokemon in Gen 1 OU. Like, what Hiburi comes close? Chansey, maybe? But, like, I think that's it. Or, actually, no, Snorlax. Snorlax is very versatile as well. But, like, if Alolan SANDSLASH is competing with Snorlax for versatility, that alone says a lot about the Pokemon. So, yeah. There's just one more thing I have to say. Tomorrow will be a week since I promised you guys doing, you know, like, heavy hitters back to back. I'm leaning towards finally doing Tyranitar. Are there any other Pokemon you guys have been wanting to see for a while now? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, this is Groundback, and I look forward to hearing from you.